What's up, you guys? We're back again. This is what, episode 5?
Episode 5.
Just crushed it. Kind of get into some different collabs. Recent work that we've done. Kind of a little bit of a filler episode between some different big guests that we have coming up too. So really hope you guys enjoy. Let us know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. Let's go.
Let's get into it. All right, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of the DISHIN podcast. This is, I think we were just saying, episode 5. We said it in our intro on last week's episode. We apologize for a bit of the hiatus there. February is a weird month for us with All-Star Weekend and just a lot of travel. But we're excited to kind of get back into the swing of things and try and be a little more consistent with it. So yeah, last episode we talked a little bit about the All-Star game, but I think this episode was, last episode was a little more internal, right? So let's have one more little internal, and then we can start getting some guests on here. How you feeling today?
For sure. Feeling good, man. I think it'll be nice to get a little reset episode with me and you. The last one we did was at the studio. Mm-hmm. So nice to be back at the shop. And yeah, I know we have some big guests lined up. We already hit it with a banger with Pavel on episode 3. So that was huge to have him on. And thanks again to him for coming on the show. That was really cool. But yeah, I think we get in a nice groove with guests. But it's nice for me and you to get back in the saddle here and kick one off just us. So.
Especially, yeah, too. That whole month of February was just a lot of travel, with All-Star. We were in Colorado. I went to Chicago. So speaking of Chicago, let's talk a little bit about Chris Chelios retiring.
That was sick.
That was unreal.
I feel like this all kind of happened when we were in Colorado. Like
yeah,
we had we had the Chelios retirement. So we went out to Colorado. We went on a little ski trip. Flew into Denver, and then we went into Frisco. Hit up Breckenridge, Copper, a couple of other different mountains out there. So that was a lot of fun. Nice for us to just kind of get away and relax a little bit. But yeah, the Blackhawks retired Chris Chelios' number to the rafters, the number 7. So we work with the Blackhawks on a custom pair of CCM FT6 skates for him that highlighted kind of his whole entire career and had some cool elements in there, such as his jersey retirement logo and just really a nod to his entire career as a Blackhawk. I think he was originally drafted by a different team and then was traded to the Blackhawks. I know he's originally from Illinois. So really cool project for us to be involved in from start to finish. And the Blackhawks really crushed it with that entire ceremony. So really cool for us to be able to watch that, as well as the Patrick Kane return game to Chicago for his first trip. So what a treat for us to be able to watch that in Colorado. So that was cool.
Yeah, it was sick. I mean, just seeing I think Chicago as a whole did a really good job of just that whole night. I mean, what a special night for any fan of Chicago, between the Chelios retirement, Patrick Kane's return, and then him scoring in overtime. Like, that was just so sick to see. And honestly, like, after that game, I'm kind of on the Detroit Red Wings bandwagon a little bit. So starting to become a little more of a Red Wings fan, seeing Kaner there. So what a special night, though. I mean, and to top it all off, too, when we were in Colorado, I think you had done one pair of skates, right, for the Chelios retirement. While we were in Colorado, during the whole ceremony, game, whatever it was going on, Jerry reached out to you and asked for another 3 pairs of skates. Talk a little bit about that.
That was wild, man. Yeah, so my immediate reaction was like, do you want the whole skate? Yeah, we were like, because we knew we were going to do skins for him too. But yeah, to shout out to Jerry, man. He's always throwing some different projects at us like that, and we love it. So yeah, it'll be cool to see who those go to, kind of working on those right now. But yeah, I mean, if they want them, we can make them up, especially for Chelly too. I mean, that was really cool again to be a part of. So shout out to Chelly and the entire Blackhawks team. And let's switch gears a little bit and talk about your Chicago trip. What was that like, kind of going out there?
Yeah. So I got the opportunity to go work with TNT and Bleacher Report, or will be our open ice for Connor Bedard's return to the United Center, and that was pretty cool. I think I was actually a game late for that, so I think he made his return like a few nights before that. But basically the whole kind of job or gig, I guess, was to kind of go in and just get motion tracking content of Connor Bedard and just that whole game for TNT's Twitter, their broadcast, and then be our open ice. So unfortunately Bedard didn't score or anything like that, but we got a lot of sick footage from that game. So it was cool. It was nice to be back in the United Center. Last time we were there was for the DISHIN drop, so it was cool to kind of go back in that building and just reconnect with a lot of people and see some familiar faces. So it was pretty fun being back there. I'm not gonna lie, especially just doing it in a different realm. Like when we were there, it was for the drop, but now this time it was for like the video stuff. So it was cool, different atmosphere.
So the one hype video you made, I think it's probably upwards of over 400,000 views.
Now it is, yep.
Yeah. Dude, that video was nuts. Like I'm sure a lot of our viewership, whoever's watching this has probably seen that, but that video was crazy. But I think my favorite video you made was the warm-up video of just him like buzzing through like morning skate, and then you showed me the clip of him hitting who'd he hit in the mouth of that puck? Was it Seth Jones?
Seth Jones. Yeah. I was the only person in the corner that was like had a camera in the corner during that morning skate, I remember. And Connor Bedard just tips a puck like right into Seth Jones's mouth, and I'm like, oh my god! I like slowly get up after like that all happened, and I just like walked away because I felt so awkward being in the corner there. But yeah, the United Center, what a place though, full of history.
Unbelievable place, man. And you get kind of just walk in there and you can just get chills right away just because you know of all the history that has been under that roof with between Jordan and everything the Blackhawks have done too. So yeah, it was cool being in the UC.
Yeah, and then after that game, I flew to Colorado with you guys. I met you guys at the O'Hare Airport, and then off we went to Colorado to go rip it up for like 5 days. So that was pretty cool. I came home from that Colorado trip to a pair of CCM gloves, pro stock. So shout out to Noah and the entire CCM team for surprising me with the with a pair of gloves there.
Yeah, but those gloves are sick, man. I know you've had your eye on those for a while, so
yeah.
Shout out to Noah, man, for hooking you up with those. Those look super dope.
Yeah, and just to touch on CCM gear too. I don't know. I've always been a huge fan of their gear. From the helmets, I remember when the VO8 helmets were like a huge hit. You know, the CCM pants, the gloves, and I used to use Bauer sticks, but I made the switch in college to CCM. So I wanted to honestly get your opinion too, like what you think of like CCM now. I don't know if you were a big CCM guy growing up. But I always loved following them more so. Like Ovechkin was on CCM. You had a handful of athletes. You have Crosby on CCM, Connor McDavid now on CCM, Tage Thompson on CCM. So I'm curious to know kind of like what your take is on CCM. Like, is there any like equipment that sticks out to you that you really like?
Yeah, like growing up, I always wore Bauer, but I feel like as I've gotten older and even like the past few years, I've really transitioned more to CCM. And I would say like probably 80 or 90% of all my equipment right now is CCM. I'm still rocking the old the Bauer 4500, the Nike Bauer helmet, but yeah, everything other than that, I'm pretty much all CCM too. So yeah, you touched on their lineup a little bit. Their lineup is unmatched, dude.
It really is
top down. Like they have almost the entire league. So I mean, in that aspect, I think their marketing is really well, and I think that really speaks to their product alone. The fact that they're able to attract almost every star player in the NHL. I've really noticed that. And one thing I've noticed about CCM too is just kind of how tapped in they are with the custom skate market. I was watching the game the other day, and Tage's skates were kind of like glimmering at me a little bit. And I just popped on Getty because I wanted to see like some more like close-up shots of his skates, and saw he has some custom goat head like TNT skates. So those are dope. And I saw that he has a blue and gold pair too. So I think CCM is really like pushing the needle when it comes to custom skates and custom equipment too, just overall. I've seen a little bit what they've been doing with some of the women's players, so that's been really cool. And I think overall they're just really on the forefront of this customization and creativity movement around hockey, which has been cool to follow.
Yeah, especially too, like, I mean, you had a guy like Ovechkin for years wear CCM, then he made that jump to Bauer, and now he's back on CCM. And then, you know, like you said, the lineup is just insane. You know, McDavid, like, we didn't even talk about Austin Matthews being on CCM too. Mm-hmm. Like his all-star skates were super dope. But yeah, dude, shout out to CCM. Those guys over there are great. They treat us very well. For those that don't know, we went to the CCM Hockey House back in November last year, and we got to try out a bunch of different gear, from helmets, gloves, skates, and sticks. I mean, I don't know if there was anything specific that stuck out to you equipment-wise, but I've never worn CCM skates. That was actually like the first time I'd ever tried on CCM skates. So
I like the helmets, dude. The helmets, they have like this, like, I'm sure they have like a specific name for like the technology they put in them, but it was like a really jelly mesh. It just feel like it really fit my head really nicely. So I think the helmets stuck out to me. It was funny. We got to the hockey house and like we immediately like grabbed screwdrivers and started taking the ear guards off.
Oh yeah, the ear guards. I don't know. There wasn't cages on them, but yeah, the ear guards.
Yeah. And then everybody's like passing the electric screwdriver around, like taking that out. So that was funny. But yeah, I would say helmets stuck out to me, and then the sticks too. I know you're a big CCM stick guy, so I know. Are you a Ripcord guy?
I was, yeah, and then I think I made the switch. I can't remember if I was using the FT5 for a little bit when that was out.
Jet Speed.
The Jet Speeds, yeah. But yeah, no, they're great sticks. I was telling Noah at All Star, I'm like, dude, I dropped probably like $250 to $350 on a stick, like at least like once a month. You know, if you're gonna play hockey 3 days a week, you might as well invest in actual good gear and not just cheap out on stuff. And I think it's totally worth it, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. And then Noah, man, Noah is great at CCM. He goes above and beyond like everything he does there. And I know we have some cool projects in the works with him right now, just on the women's side of things, and just building out more of their custom skate category too. So again, just to kind of wrap that up, they've been amazing to work with CCM top down, and really excited for some of the upcoming work that we have with them too.
Yeah, and even to touch on the skates a little bit, like going back to that a little bit, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like these skates when I first tried them on, but I noticed, like, I don't know, they were different. They fit a little, because I usually wear Bauer. They fit a little bit different than a Bauer. Like the ankle's a little bit lower like they sit a little bit lower than the Bauers do. But they were super light. I don't know if you noticed that at all. But
Yeah, for sure. And the I don't know what kind of blades they use, but the blades sit up a little bit higher, which I really like too. And I think our next project is getting Derek a pair of CCM skates that fit him. So that'll be something that we have to keep in mind with that too. So we'll have to reach out to Noah about that sooner than later.
yeah, and even speaking of skates, our buddies over at Just Do Hockey recently just sent you a pair of skates. So
Yeah.
can we show these off for a minute?
Unbelievable, man. They sent 2 pairs. So my buddy CJ, shout out to CJ, man. So I think he lives overseas. I'm not sure exactly where he lives over there, but we've been in touch quite a bit. And yeah, he's just really started this Just Do Hockey company, and primarily on Instagram and different social to really push Nike to come back into the sport. I think he's been really strategic about it, kind of the way he's been going about it, sending skates to different influencers and stuff. But these skates are unbelievable. Like you saw the Nike Jordan skates that we did a couple of years back, and I think that really like pioneered the movement, which is cool because it was a little bit different than anybody's ever seen before, like doing the leather build on top of an original CCM one-piece boot. But this thing is just unbelievable, and we could probably get some like close-up shots of this that we can show like in the clip. But there's just unbelievable craftsmanship throughout this whole thing, even down to like the soles itself. And I know like the swoosh is 3D embossed and actually embroidered in there too. So I mean, Fedorov would be proud of these.
Yeah, dude. Like the one thing that really stuck out to me about these skates is like trying them on and seeing how light they were. Like these things were so light, I honestly could not believe it. But yeah, did a really good job just with the craftsmanship, and they even got the Nike steel too, which is pretty fire.
The Nike steel, and then the holder too. Like they developed this brand new holder, which is even crazier because I mean, a lot of the holders right now, they can be sometimes difficult to get the steel out, but this one makes it super easy. Like you just pull it out the back, and then the steel pretty much just pops out from there. So a really new and innovative feature I think that they added to the skate as well, which is really cool to see where they take it from there. So and then they sent this other pair too, this black and red. This kind of dons like the actual like Jordan 1 skate itself, but the same type of thing, like all stitched into the boot. You can tell that the skate build itself is pretty new. It's not built off like a Bauer or a CCM, and same thing with the holder, how it's all custom there too. So same type of thing, super light and overall really well made.
Yeah, very clean design too overall. Like again, the craftsmanship was unreal. We were joking around too in here a couple days ago about swapping the black laces out, because I always say black laces are kind of dust, but I don't know. Like, let me know what you guys think in the comments here. Like, what do you guys think of these? Should we rock the black laces in these skates, or do you think we should throw white in there? I don't know. We tried to throw white in, and just, I don't know. Like, it didn't sit well for us. I don't know. At least for me.
No, I agree. The black eyelets, those ones have white eyelets, so maybe they fit a little bit nicer. But I don't know. The black in there just seemed to fit really nice. That is a nice lineup of skates we got right there.
That really is. I mean, yeah, we got the OG Jordan 1 skate made by Coda Customs on Instagram. Fucking killed it for us. We recently came up on the 3-year anniversary of these skates going viral, which is crazy to think about. I mean, this was like a turning point for the brand. So shout out to Coda Customs for absolutely crushing this design and helping us get our first like real viral clip, because that helped us do a lot of different things in the hockey market for sure.
Yeah, and speaking to that too, like I took those Fedorovs and I threw them in the light box, and you got some really cool pictures of them, and CJ shared them himself. But it was really cool to see us post those and how many other people tapped in because they know us because of the Jordan skates that we made. Like I know Travis Kelce liked that, and a few other people and celebrities liked the Fedorov skates that we posted too. So again, shout out to CJ, Just Do Hockey. They're doing some really cool things over there. Maybe eventually they'll be the first ones to make the DISHIN 1 for us. I know we've had some ideas in mind of making a custom skate ourselves, a custom DISHIN skate, maybe like a yellow like a mesh, like a fly net almost. I want to make a skate that you can like literally slip your foot into, like a Balenciaga, with no laces.
No laces.
No laces.
That's
dude.
crazy.
Yeah, I think
it's
that'd be
doable.
crazy. I don't know. We'll see. I think if anybody can help us make it, it's them. So yeah, we'll
For
see.
sure. And like, so obviously, like we were just showing you guys these skates here. There's a lot of things that a lot of different companies and brands that we have worked with over the years that will just send us like random things like these skates. Like we've gotten gloves. You guys see the pads in the back here too. Just a lot of different random stuff that's like kind of laying around the shop that we slowly want to start maybe working into the podcast a little bit, just to kind of one, show you guys, but two, just to, I guess, show it off too, talk about it, have a conversation about it, because there's so many things that we get sent again by these brands and companies that we just sometimes don't even show like on the DISHIN page. So I think that'll be maybe like a cool little segment. Maybe we could start to work into the pod as the episodes continue and as the consistency continues. But
little show and tell on the pod. We'll go through and grab one or two items that we really want to show off, like the mascot head. Should I throw that on?
Yeah, throw that on.
I can't throw it on. But yeah, you guys can kind of see like that same type of thing. Like there's some things that you can see, I think, in IG and different photos that we post. But yeah, the podcast kind of gives us a little bit of a different vertical to show things off and in more of a in-person type of feel, and something that gives you guys a little bit more of a different perspective that you might not see before. So
for sure. And to kind of move on to a little bit, I want to talk a little bit about, because we're starting to get a little bit of questions after the Hawks release, after All-Star, kind of what's going on with DISHIN for the rest of the year. What do we have on the horizon? We got a lot of stuff we've been working on, especially this month too, just a lot of different calls, meetings, brainstorming, creative meetings, etc., all that stuff. So, what's next up for us right now?
A lot of collabs, man. Yeah, a lot of collabs in the works. I remember we were talking like a year ago, and we were like, damn, we should really like start to build out more of our collab lineup, and just the power of manifesting, dude. Like, look at us, like a year later, we have like probably like 10 or 12 collabs in the works that we're just trying to plan out for this year and next year too. So, I mean, to speak on those a little bit, we have some cool work coming up with New Era that we're going to be actually doing 2 projects with them. One that we'll talk about briefly a little bit here will be for 5950 Day. That'll be on May 9th. So hopefully the weather's a little bit nicer. We'll be able to do some sort of activation stuff outside with them, but primarily going to be at the New Era shop on Delaware Ave. I think that's a Thursday. So looking forward to that. And then, yeah, speaking on the collabs a little bit too, we have a lot of upcoming work that is going to be our biggest. Yeah, obviously the Blackhawks one, like kicking that off. First NHL franchise we work with. Can't say enough great things about the Blackhawks and working with their entire team top down. And we have more in the works with them, more collab stuff, merchandising and whatnot. But yeah, excited to soon release some of the collabs that we're working on currently. And I think the biggest thing right now is just timing them out, scheduling, and kind of when everything's all going to come together best. So excited for all that.
Yeah, and even collabs with other content creators too. So including guests on this podcast. We're really trying to utilize the network that we have with a lot of people we worked with and get them on this podcast. So we are excited for that. We do have a few big guests lined up. We had to put one on the back burner for a bit, but I think after this month we'll be getting him in, so we can probably announce that soon. But yeah, excited, man. Excited for what else is in store for this year for us. It's crazy. Like even with the Blackhawks project, we started working on that in June last year, and it came to life in November of last year. So, but to kind of move along here too, I want to talk a little bit about the NHL. I tried at my best to keep up with with the trades and all that sort of stuff, but I said it earlier. I'm on the Detroit Red Wings bandwagon right now. I would like to see them. I don't know where they're at right now in the standings, which I should know that if I'm on the bandwagon.
I know that Buffalo plays them 3 more times, I think, before the end of the season. So,
yeah.
And I just looked before we jumped on. I know they have 72 points. I think Tampa has the first wild card at 75. So they're right in the mix right there.
Okay. Well, I hope they make it. And honestly, if they go to playoffs, I hope they win the cup. Just because I want to see Kaner win a cup. Like, that would be sick to see him lift the cup again, for sure.
That'd be dirty. Yeah.
And just like that whole team, like they seem like they have so much fun on that team over there.
Getting the gritty. They got the
Yeah.
Eminem goal song, I think, too.
Yeah, I love that. We're talking about the playoff push a little bit. Is there any teams in the mix right now that you kind of want to see maybe win the cup, or at least maybe they're in a wild card spot and they want to, or maybe they're in a wild card spot and they're trying to make a push for playoffs? Is there anybody in that wild card spot you want to see?
Maybe not in the wild card, but I like watching the Rangers. They're just really fun. And Rempe, dude, he's been just like a different dude to watch every night. He broke it in the league in a crazy way. Like first ever player to make his debut in an outdoor game, and he's just on a tour right now, like going through a circus of just fighting everybody. And I think he brings an exciting element to the game that maybe was a dying breed a little bit ago, but yeah, I would say him, and maybe in the West, like I like watching the Avalanche too. It was tough to see Casey go, but really wish him the best out there. And I think Buffalo got a good return in Byram too. So excited for to see what the Avs can do. I think they can make some noise in the playoffs.
I agree. And Casey had a phenomenal, for what was going on here. Like he played very well, and he was exciting to watch here. He did all he could, and it was tough to see him go. But I'm happy. I think Colorado is going to be a good spot for him. I'm excited to watch them in the playoffs because I'm pretty sure they're going to make the playoffs. So I'm excited to see them, see what they can do. I was looking at the points too. Nathan McKinnon's first in the league right now in points. I think with 111 or something like that.
There's a clip I saw a couple days ago of McDavid talking to somebody on the bench, and he was like, just keeps kind of telling somebody, his teammate, to be like Nate. He was like, get the puck and just go. And he was talking about, I just think like bringing it up the wall or the side. But it was funny to see McDavid, like the best of his craft, bring up somebody like Nate Dogg, who's doing some incredible things in the league. And yeah, speaking of Casey a little bit too, like I feel like Casey was he had a different year this year. I feel like he really started to blossom as a forward. His puck possession was just really changed and different, kind of out of this world, something that we haven't seen him do before. And that's kind of why I'm excited to watch him. And with the Avs is because he started to develop a new pace and play to his game that was cool to us to see kind of under the microscope here.
Yeah, and he seemed like I think he's going to be more of a role player than anything in Colorado, and that's what I'm excited for because I feel like he's a guy that he's a Minnesota kid. He's gonna blossom whatever role he decides to go. If he's going to be that third line grinder, I think he's kind of at that point in his career where he can really do some damage at that role.
I think he's gonna be a second line center guy,
or that too. Yeah, wherever he ends up, I think he's gonna be just fine.
Doesn't have to be the guy necessarily.
For sure. But yeah, that's to kind of wrap things up. That's kind of all we had today. We wanted to try and keep it a little short for you guys, more of with this being an internal pod. Like I was saying in the beginning here, we do have some guests that are lined up, which we're really excited about. We want to try and have not just like hockey people on here, but people who are interested in hockey too, and who have maybe been around the sport but maybe not played the sport. So just kind of mix it up a little bit,
Yeah, for sure. I know we have some big guests in the works right now, just same type of thing, kind of getting them scheduled and lined up. But I want to give one quick shout out to Super Checks again, because we potentially have a tournament that we're going to be doing with them, which is going to be really cool. Kind of working out the details, fine tuning it of where it's going to be, dates and everything, how many people we're going to open it up to. But man, Super Checks, unbelievable. Really excited and glad that we were able to work with them on our custom game, because that thing gets usage every day. We had a party here at the shop yesterday, and like that thing was running for like 8 hours, it seemed like. So again, shout out to them, man. I know we have some Super Checks fanatics out there, especially here in Buffalo, that I'm sure are going to be really excited about the tournament that we're going to be hosting, and details are to come on that. So stay tuned.
I'm excited for that. Like, I think the last event that we did was the esports tournament. And that was before COVID. So this should be fun. But yeah, I think that's about all I got. I don't know if you have anything else you want to touch on here.
Yeah, I don't think I do, man. I would just reiterate, like, we have some really cool work coming up. Obviously, the Blackhawks one was a huge project for us, but some of the collabs that we have in the works right now, I think, are going to be monumental for our brand, both on the DISHIN and skin side of things. So, yeah, really exciting time for us right now, just starting to plan everything out and how it all comes together. But if you guys like the pod, like, let us know. If you got to this point in the epi, and we're trying to keep these a little bit shorter, more short and sweet, and I really like me and you. We can do these type of sit down episodes too. They're nice fillers between them when we have guests on. So kind of a nice debrief and let people know what we've been up to in the meantime.
For sure. Well, for those of you who have made it this far, again, thank you for making it this far, and we'll see you on the next one.